This is StoneBlock, a 1.12 questing mod pack that is kind of a bit more kitchen sink than it is questing, and I say that because I opened up the pack and I opened up the quest book, and I was kind of surprised to see that there were only 6 kind of sections here, 6 chapters, if you will, to the quest book. You know, normally in packs like Modern Skyblock 3, in packs like Enigmatica 2 that we've been playing recently, those kind of packs just have you scroll down because there are so many chapters and so many quests in the pack. It's actually ridiculous, but in this pack, there were only 6, which kind of had me thinking that it was a pretty small pack, right? You've got your typical kind of somewhat, I say typical, it's kind of typical with a bit of a twist because obviously we're not in the sky, we're in a cave. And so we do have Ex Nihilo to start with here, but it is tweaked ever so slightly because we're not in the sky. And then you can see over here, we've got some sifting, we've got some cobblestone generation, we've got some late game stuff with the infinity catalysts here, the infinity ingots, all that kind of good stuff. Power generation, mystical agriculture, aka magical crops for those who are not familiar. Storage, we've got a choice of applied energistics and the other mod whose name I've forgotten. Refined Storage is the name of the mod. Draconic Evolution on Project E, and I thought, wow, this must be a really, really small mod pack, but it turns out that it's actually gigantic. It has a whopping 240 mods in it, which is actually insane, and a lot of the mods just aren't reflected in the quest book. You have to just kind of use your imagination, if you will. And so in that sense, it's kind of a bit more kitchen sink-esque. There's a lot of openness to it. It's mostly tech stuff. There is a little bit of magic in there with Botania, but there's no Thorncraft, no astral sorcery, I don't think. Yeah, no, it would make sense. There's no sky, so astral sorcery probably isn't there. And then also, there's no Thorncraft, there's no blood magic, no astral sorcery, none of that stuff is in here. There are a few odd mods that I wasn't expecting to see. One of those is Buildcraft, which I have not played with in forever because I don't think it came out for 1.10, and I just haven't played a 1.12 pack with it in yet. And so I'm kind of looking forward to maybe setting up a Buildcraft quarry, potentially, in like a mining dimension, and maybe even also getting into using these Buildcraft pipes again because it's been so long, and I just got kind of a bit of nostalgia for those pipes. We'll see. And then also another mod that I haven't played with in a long time is Woot. I believe the last time I played with this mod was in Feed the Beast Beyond, which was back in 1.10. And for those who don't know, this is essentially a mod that lets you set up a custom mob spawner that can either spawn like specific mobs or multiple different kinds of mobs, and you can upgrade it to different tiers, kind of like a blood magic altar. Or kind of like a Void Ore Miner from Environmental Tech, something like that, where you can kind of build it up and then it just generates resources. You feed it power and it generates resources from nothing, specifically mob drops. It kind of simulates those mob drops, which is pretty cool. And so yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to playing with that, as well as all the other mods that are in the pack at some point. But anyway, without further ado, if we pop open our Game Boy here, the first quest under Start of StoneBlock is the start. It says this is the start. Pebbles are obtained by breaking stone with an empty hand. So to get that, we have to go ahead and break some of the stone here. We need 16 stone in order to complete that first quest. And kind of like in something like Garden of Glass from Botania, the kind of typical Skyblock start, where you shift right click on grass to get cobblestones. You can use these and craft these up to make actual cobblestone. And then I believe the first thing that we're going to do is go ahead and craft that cobblestone up into a cobblestone crafting table, just based on what I can see in the quest book. And then from there, I think we're going to move on into a normal crafting table. I'm not quite sure yet how we're going to get a sapling or dirt of any kind. I'm really hoping that the quest book is going to go ahead and give us that. Oh, it does say empty hand. I'm a fool. I'm breaking it with the stone pebbles. That's why not why I'm getting any more. But yeah, here we go. Is StoneBlock going to be a Patreon server, and how do you get access to the Patreon servers, Isaac? It is indeed a Patreon server. You can see already we've got a bunch of people on it. You can visit patreon.com/GOC. Anybody who pledges at the $5 tier or higher does get access to all of the Patreon servers, including this one right here. So now that we've got ourselves 24 stone pebbles, we can go ahead and first of all make sure that the quest has detected. Sometimes you can see that Better Questing Mod doesn't quite detect things before you like click detect/submit, and so got to make sure you do that. We do have loot chests. I'm not quite sure how good these are going to be. I'm really hoping that they are great because I'm a big fan of packs that have fantastic loot boxes in them. We got 8 draconic cores. That's actually kind of crazy. Like, it's useless for us right now, but that's a pretty high-end recipe right there. Like, that's quite expensive, all things considered. You know, it might make it a little easier for us to get to this mob grinder early on, actually. I don't know how hard it's going to be for us to get, like, draconium dust. That might prove somewhat difficult, but the fact that we only need 1, and then we can go ahead and make that top-tier mob grinder is kind of crazy. So I will take that. I don't know if like you're guaranteed to get that if you pick this middle loot chest every time, because I'm not quite sure how all of those loot systems work. But nevertheless, now we need to go ahead and craft ourselves one stone crafting table. It's pebbles into cobblestone into stone crafting table. Seems easy enough. So if we do this and we do this, we get ourselves a stone crafting table from StoneBlock Utilities. I like it. We'll throw that down there. Looks quite cool. It's used for crafting. Nice. Is it any different from a regular crafting table, or is it just... Is the fact that it's stone the only difference there? I feel like that makes sense. But anyway, if we open this up here, we can go ahead and... Oh, I didn't detect /submit. I have to make another one. I'll pick this one up, and I can't pick that one up. Can I pick this up? I'm going to try pick this up. I think I might be able to pick it up. I totally can. Nice. Okay, in that case, then, let's detect, claim the quest, get ourselves a nice, tasty loot box, which hopefully, again, has something fantastic in it. That one's got an Invar hammer from Thermal Expansion. I'm not quite sure... how you use these. Are these used for like crafting plates? Or can I actually use this to like oh my goodness, it's actually like a Tinker's Construct hammer. Oh my goodness, guys. That is gonna make clearing out cobblestone so much easier. Holy heck, look at this. Look at, oh my goodness. This is gonna be a skyblock in no time. This is gonna be a skyblock in freaking no time. You give me 5 minutes with this this hammer here, and we're not gonna be in a cave anymore. We're gonna be in an actual freaking skyblock. It's great. Oh, I love that. Okay, and that means we don't have to spend like the first 20 minutes of the stream here breaking these stone blocks by hand. We actually got a ton of cobblestone right away, which is fantastic. And so now if we go ahead and take a look at the next quest here, it says dirt is obtained by using a hammer. Craft a stone hammer and start smashing. Stone to cobblestone, cobble to gravel, gravel to dirt, dirt to sand, and sand to dust. That's new. Usually the way this works is you go cobble to gravel, gravel to sand, sand to dust. They've added in that intermediary step there between gravel and sand. They've thrown dirt in, which is pretty interesting. So I'm assuming the way that works, can you make a hammer without a stick, I guess, then in this pack? Let's have a look. So cobblestone hammer, you can indeed use stone rods here to make those. So if we do something like this, they're a little bit more expensive, requiring 4 cobblestone, but it's nothing that we cannot handle. Stone hammer, and then if we throw this down, this is actually super easy. I was not expecting it to be this easy for us to get dirt here. Also, I'm fairly certain that we do have ore excavator installed. Or do we have ore excavator? Excavator. We do. I don't know if it's ore excavator, but we do have some form of excavate mod in. In that case, let me go ahead and unbind the quest book from the grave key, because I do not want that to be there. I want to be able to use the grave key to excavate ores. And so if we do something like, oh, nice, look at that. So we can actually just throw down a ton of cobblestone. I guess, honestly, we could just go ahead and, actually, I don't know if that works. What do you get if you break stone with a hammer? You get cobblestone. Okay. All right, I guess that kind of makes sense. And then we can go ahead and throw this down as well. As soon as we get a tree, we should be able to build like a wand almost right away, right? Let's have a look. Wand. So yeah, it should actually... Actually, could we use cobblestone sticks for that as well? Hold on. Hold the phone. If I go ahead and grab myself 2 stone rods and I do something like... that's not how you craft that. It's like that, right? Okay, so it doesn't work quite with cobblestone sticks, but it's pretty close. I like that. All right, in that case then, let me go ahead and just break this all with my hammer. Now we've got ourselves 10 dirt. We can go ahead, detect /submit. I think I am in edit mode for some reason, so I'm just going to quickly do /bq admin edit, and that's going to go ahead and turn edit mode off. Not quite sure why, but the pack seems to start like that. But anyway, let's go ahead and claim a loot box. Again, the first 2 have been pretty good, and so I'm quite confident this next one here should also be quite good. We got 4 64K ME storage components. Again, not entirely all too useful right now, but still really useful later on down the line if we want to get into a little bit of applied logistics. It means that we can get into like really big disk drives or really big crafting CPUs, all that kind of stuff, nice and easily if we want to. So next up here, we got stone crook. Simply craft a stone crook. I'm going to go ahead and take a wild guess. The recipe looks something like this. A bunch of stone rods crafted like a crook. It doesn't. Excuse me, that's not how you craft a stone crook. Is it cobblestone and not sticks? Is it like this? Maybe I should just stop guessing and look it up. Oh, I was so close. It's not a shapeless recipe. And so now we've got that. What do we use the stone crook for to get our saplings, or to get our first bits of wood? But before that, another loot chest. We got engineer's goggles, we got red ribbons, and we got a black bow tie. Can I put all 3 of these onto my person, or do I have to pick? Oh my goodness, I can put all 3 of them on. Look at that. I need to be in the light here. Look at that right there. Oh, right. at the start of the pack, and I'm already looking just dashing as ever. Holy heck. Let's go ahead and open up our quest book here, and let's find out how in the world we get saplings. Vanilla saplings are obtained by breaking dirt with a stone crook. So all we need to do is throw down a couple of these, which, oh my, somehow I've entered creative mode? When did I upgrade my... Excuse me? Did I upgrade my /game mode S? I do not wish to be in creative mode, and I also do not wish to be able to edit this quest. Are you sure you wish to close? Yes. Edit mode off. Okay, I am now in survival mode with edit mode off. Okay, I have cheated in some dirt. Guys, I've cheated in 6 pieces of dirt. So let's go ahead and break this with our stone crook. That's going to give us a bunch of actually different saplings. I wasn't actually expecting to get just a ton of random saplings there, but that kind of makes sense that you get different ones each time. This quest does want us to get 4 of every single sapling. One of my little pet peeves about better questing is the fact that they give you such a tiny little scroll bar, and the scroll bar doesn't do anything. Like, this little scroll bar here makes it look like you have to go through like 50 different saplings to get to the bottom, but in fact, it just takes you to the bottom of that Dark Oak sapling there, which is kind of crazy. Cheater, it's true, I am a big old cheater. You've got me. I cheated in a whopping 6 dirt. No, why not just cheat in all the Project T stuff as well? It's pretty much the same thing, right? All right, so all we need to do here is just actually get like a ton of cobblestone, throw it all down, and then break it all with our stone hammer. That's going to get us a bunch of gravel. Do the same thing again to get a bunch of dirt, and then throw all that down and get just a bunch of different saplings. I actually quite like this as well. I like the fact that they make it very easy to get all of the different saplings right from the start. It's going to make building a base that looks half decent actually fairly doable. Usually, like, a skyblock will limit you to like oak or birch or something like that, and like getting spruce wood or getting dark oak wood or anything like that can usually be quite difficult, especially early on. They usually make you jump through hoops to get to all of that stuff, but we don't have to worry about that. All we have to do is throw down a bunch of our dirt, break it down with a hammer, and we will get a plethora of all of the different kinds of saplings, and it is going to be actually fantastic. So let's go ahead and break all this. We are going to need a new hammer. Oh, that's not what I want to do. No. We are going to need that sand at some point. So I'm not too worried, but I did actually want to use my crook and not my hammer to break that. That was a mistake, but that's fine. Not a problem. Nice. Okay, cool. So that is that quest complete. Let's go with the top one. Again, we've been picking quite well so far. We're getting some good stuff. Let's take a peek. We got a flask of Fleet Feet, which gives us speed 2 for 1 minute and 30 seconds. I'm not actually quite sure if that's any useful or if it's just going to make us fast for a little while, but all right, sure. Fine. And then let's go back to the quest book here and move on to wood. We need to get 16 wood. That seems pretty easy to do, but before we can do that, we are going to have to clear out a bit of space here in our cave. Thankfully, we got this Invar hammer, and that should make light work of this. For now, I'm just going to kind of clear out enough space. I'm just going to clear out a big old square. You know, eventually we'll try and make it look a little bit nicer, but for now, I just want to get the basics up and running. I feel like we are going to have to get another torch fairly soon. The game does start us off with 1, but like that really doesn't feel like it's going to be enough. In fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and throw down a piece of dirt like right in the middle here and start trying to grow our first sapling. I'm not 100% certain. Does this work? It doesn't work. I'm not 100% certain. I also hate this already. If we have tree growing simulator installed, and so I don't know if we can kind of force those trees to grow a little bit faster. I really hope that we do, just so we don't have to spend too much time waiting for trees to grow. Although, to be fair, the fact that it's so easy to get dirt and to get saplings, I wouldn't be surprised. It would make it, like, it's not going to be hard for us to get just a ton of dirt and a ton of saplings and get just a massive tree farm going to do that with if we wanted to. But I'm being told by the Twitch chat that we can indeed go ahead and twerk for our tree here. Let's take a look. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at that. I do love a good old bit of twerking for an oak sapling. Come on. We might not have enough space, actually. I might have to clear out a little bit more before that actually works, but that's fine. And as soon as we get our first sapling, and therefore our first bits of wood, that's not what I want to do, we should be able to make torches, right? Make torches, maybe get like a furnace of some description, and then move on to maybe some sifting, try and get some of that. I'm assuming it works out the same way that it normally does, where we throw down like a silkworm into some leaves. That silkworm's then going to go ahead and get us some string, use the string to make a mesh, I'm not quite sure what version of Ex Nihilo we're playing with. Ever since like 1.7.10, there have been like a few different variations of Ex Nihilo, which all do things a little bit differently. They kind of have the same core features to them, but some of them have like those big multi-block sieves where you can put like 5 sieves down or 25 sieves down all at once and sieve simultaneously in a bunch of different sieves. I'm quite a big fan of that one. I do like it. It's also usually got the glitch where you can rapidly right-click to sieve faster than normal, which I also like. And there we go. There's our first tree. Nice. So we desperately need some kind of storage here. So I'm going to go ahead and vein mine this down. And I think the first thing I'm going to craft outside of a Tinker's Construct crafting station, which I think is just better than... Actually, I don't know if it is better than this. Let me see here. This does retain items, right? And it even shows you the items there on the top there. So I don't know if this is actually any better. I have made it, and so I am going to throw it down. But I think it's actually like exactly the same. Apart from the fact that this has got like a 3D rendering of the model and this one doesn't. I'm also going to go ahead and turn off the hotkey for crafting grids, because I'm not a fan of that either. Clear grid, get rid of it. Crafting grid, get rid of it. Zoom is what I want. Save toolbar activator, get rid of it. Tool and armor config UI, open exalted crafter, get rid of it. Slide inventory key, no. So many. This is one thing about modern Minecraft. There are so many like rebinds and just overlaps with key bindings. It's crazy. All I want to do is be able to zoom in on that beautiful little bit of sapling floating around there. It's great. A 3x3 sieve does work at least. Ooh, in that case, I wouldn't be surprised if the 5x5 does work. I'm very happy to see that. That sounds good and should make our sifting life just a little bit easier. It should make it a lot easier for us to go ahead and sift all that up. I'm going to raise the roof just a smidge here because I still don't think we quite have enough space for those trees to go quickly. And so we'll figure it out. I couldn't get it to work? Really? I'll give it a try. We'll have to see if we can get it to work. You can't use multiple sieves? Oh, I'm being fed multiple lines of information. A few of my experts are telling me one thing and a few are telling me the other. Might have to be using heavy sieves? Also a possibility. I can't quite remember how it worked in like Sky Factory, which I think is the last time I used that kind of sieving setup, or maybe even Project Ozone Light. So I'm going to have to try and figure that out. It would be nice if you could, but it's not the end of the world, really, if we can't use that. It's not too bad just sifting normally. We'll figure it out. Okay, so we really want this, I think, smack bang in the middle of the cave there, but there we go. There's another freaking tree. And I guess for now, I'm actually not sure if like vanilla tools have been tweaked in any way. I don't think they will have been. This mod is very kitchen sink, and it does have a good deal of quests in it, and some of the stuff has been tweaked to make it work in a cave, but for the most part, a lot of the recipes and a lot of the mechanics have not been changed all that much. You'll see that none of the vanilla tools have been changed, and so if you want, you can go ahead and just craft up like a standard stone crafting, standard stone axe. You can't use these stone rods to do it, but I don't think that it's going to be too difficult for us to go ahead and craft one up like so. I'll craft 2 because I know I'm going to run out of our first one probably quite quickly. And whilst we're on the subject of crafting recipes, I should probably show you kind of some of the tweaked recipes in the pack. Like I said, for the most part, things are left just basic. There are a few recipes that have been tweaked. Specifically, Project E has been changed quite a bit. It kind of has to be changed because the default Project E recipes are just ridiculous. Like, they're far too easy to get, and then they just make the rest of the game worthless. You know, it's so easy to get everything. And so if we go to @Project E, you'll see stuff like the Philosopher's Stone. Actually might not have a, oh no, I think this is a different recipe. It doesn't normally come with the actual edition star here, but still not terribly bad. The things that have really been changed, and the only, as far as I know at least, the only super hard recipes are the transmutation table, and then after that, the transmutation tablet, both of which have extreme crafting recipes, which even then are not super hard to get. There are no, like, infinity crystals here. Well, there are some infinity ingots, and those do, I think, require infinity crystals. They do, but they're not, it's not crazy. It's not the worst, you know, crafting recipe I've ever seen. I've seen more and harder crafting recipes than this, but for the most part, you know, if we look up the recipe for a pulverizer, that's always my go-to when I look to see if recipes have been changed. You'll see that this is a bog standard pulverizer recipe with a piston, a machine frame, and 2 copper gears, and so I'm quite happy about that. It's been a while outside of Fullcraft since I've played like a non-expert pack, and so not having to go through all of that like micro crafting and grind and all that stuff should be quite nice. Actually, playing Fullcraft has been like a real refreshing change of pace. So yeah, let's go ahead and I'm just basically going to chop down a few trees, keep using the crook to make sure we get as many silkworms as possible, and then once we've got a decent amount of wood, we can throw down a couple of trees, infest those with the silkworm, and start to work towards getting just a little bit of string. The top level is lava. Oh, really? So if you try and dig like right up, you get to lava. Is that like Y256 is lava, or is it like lower than that? Because I don't want to hit that lava if possible. Although I guess you could maybe use that to your advantage, right? Is there lava beneath us as well, potentially? Because either way, it would be cool to get, like, maybe a little bit of early game power. I'm assuming we do have magma generators, like, enabled. And so we could potentially get some lava and try and get power with that early on, maybe? You know, pump it out of the pre-existing lava above us. So now we've got 25 wood. That's not a ton, but it is enough to go ahead and complete this quest. And also, I did say I was going to go ahead and craft up a crafting table here, aka a chest. And so let's go ahead and grab one of those. For now, we'll just throw this down right about here and just dump basically all of our cobblestone into it. Although I guess, honestly, we can probably jump straight in with storage drawers. And maybe even the crates from actual editions. I don't think these are too hard to get. It's just wood, sticks, chests. You know what? Sure, I'm going to go ahead and craft one of those real quick just to make our lives a little bit easier. I'm also going to assume that this recipe works in terms of getting chests. It does indeed. I love it. So let's go ahead and craft up a few sticks. Once we've got 40 sticks, that seems like a reasonable number. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves one of those and kapow. Nice. Okay, that gives us a gigantic chest to start with here, which I'm very happy about. Like I said, we probably can get into storage drawers pretty early on, but I think for now, given that we've got quite a few different items, I think this will work a little bit nicer. So, let's go ahead and claim that quest here. We'll grab one of these. Give me something good. We got 8 speed upgrades, magical. Also pretty cool. Would be quite nice for transfer nodes, maybe for the... basically any of the stuff that uses grid power, any extra utilities 2 stuff, that could be quite useful, you know, speeding up the, is it called the resonator? Resonator, is that what it's called? Yeah, this thing right here, the resonator. Speeding that up early on can be quite useful. No solar panels, I guess. It's weird, right? Because if we look in the quest book here and we look under power generation, there's a whole section that wants you to make all of the solar panels that are available. Like, they want you to go from solar panel 1 all the way down to solar panel 8 here. Now, I don't know if this is just a troll because you can't actually use them, and they've also got these solar arrays here as well. So, like, these 2 big sources of power generation are here to generate power from the sun, but we are in a cave, so I have no idea quite how that's going to work, so I don't know, but we'll figure it out. Put them in the mining dimension, of course. I did notice that we do have at Aroma, this mod here, which does add the mining dimension. You can go ahead and, I guess, put them in the mining dimension, and that is, I believe, a dimension that is always daytime, like it's never night in the mining dimension, so that's quite cool. Also, yeah, the end, as I learned recently in Warcraft 3, is also always daytime, and so I guess we could do that as well if we wanted to. So now let's go have a look here again. So now we've got a few quests. We've got one for making a chest, which we have indeed done. So we'll claim our reward for that. We do have a little bit of a Botania start over here that wants us to make some floral fertilizer. We can look at that, I guess, in just a second. We've also got a quest for string, which we can, of course, do with the silkworm. And then a quest that wants us to start making all of the Tinker's Construct tool stations and whatnot. So my Invar hammer is almost depleted. Are there any other kinds of hammers? Can I make like a stone hammer from thermal foundation? Is that something I can do, or do I have to make it out of like, I can make like a gold or diamond hammer, although it doesn't look like there is like a stone version or a wooden version. But even the fact that gold and diamond is there means that we could probably get those fairly easily. Another 8 speed upgrades from the chests. Not fantastic, but, you know, usable. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and throw down... Don't want to throw down a dark oak sapling. I'm thinking, like, spruce might give us more leaves, but they're also quite tall, right? So, yeah, we'll go with oak, you know. Not dark oak. I want to go with regular old oak saplings. The good, the tried, the tested. Give me some of these. And we'll throw a silkworm in there. And then whilst we're waiting for that, we've got quite a bit of wood, and I think we should have enough to start making the basic Tinker's Construct setup. So let's get our silkworms here and just kind of pack as many of these as we can in. You only really have to put one in, but if you put more in, it will go ahead and complete just a little bit faster. And so whilst we wait for that, let's see if my muscle memory can carry me through creating all of these Tinker's Construct recipes. I'm pretty sure that I have all of these memorized at this point. So we can go ahead and it's this way around, get ourselves a stencil table, then go ahead, craft up a standard crafting table. We're also going to need a bog standard vanilla chest, which we already have, right? We do indeed, so we don't have to craft one of those. And then finally the oak wood as well. And that should, I think, be everything that we need there. There was another one on the list. I'm not quite sure what the new one is, but those are the ones that I know how to make. What am I missing? I am missing a part chest. What do I need for a part chest? Is that a new item? I think it is. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's just never usually required in the quests. Maybe I've missed it a few times potentially. That seems a lot more likely, because I think I have seen that before, or at least heard of it. Like, people might have told me to make it, and I just didn't. But there we go. That's all of the early game Tinker's Construct stuff ready to go. And again, for now, we'll just throw these down, I think, over in the corner here. So what do I want to do here? I want to make sure that I have I want the stencil table next to my... No. You know, I know how to make these off by heart, but I still always mess up putting these down. I want the part builder next to the stencil table, right? The pattern chest, aka the pattern chest, so I can actually access it like that. I also think I want the stencil table next to the pattern chest as well. Can I put them directly in there? I can. Good stuff. And then we'll throw the tool station at the end like that for now. Maybe I'll throw the part chest here, actually. Can you access the part chest from... Hold on. First of all, can you access the part chest from here? You can't. Can you access the part chest from the tool station? That would make sense. You cannot. All right, well, I guess never mind then. But we now have a part chest where I guess we can throw out excess parts if we want to just kind of not store them in a normal chest. We can throw them in here, which should probably make life quite a bit easier. And now we've got this beautiful frosty white tree in the background here, which we can go ahead and cut down using our stone crook. That should get us hopefully a fair bit of string. That is 17 string out of the first bit of the crook there, which is quite nice. I'm assuming that the standard wooden crook is just as good as the cobblestone one. And there we go. I think the recipe, yeah, the quest was not really for that much string. Thankfully, we've now got 54, which should be more than enough for us to progress here to make at least a couple of sieves. We will go ahead, of course, and grab a loot chest. Let's see what we get. 8 draconium-infused obsidian. What the heck can I use that for? A dislocator receptacle, as well as some facades. Painted cobblestone. That's it. And it's just a painting machine. We can paint it to look like other blocks. So I guess we can just use it to make a dislocator receptacle. I have no idea what that's for. I haven't played with Draconic Evolution in quite some time. But anyway, if we pop back into our quest book here, now we get to move on to completing this quest, which we will also do and claim another loot box here. And then our first quest in the sieving section starts here, which I believe is also fairly easy for us to make. We might have to grab a little bit more in the way of wood before we can actually craft these, but I think Ex Nihilo Creatia is the one maybe where you can set up multiple sieves, because I think in the old Ex Nihilo, you didn't used to have to make the mesh that goes into the sieve, whereas in this newer one that's kind of like 1.10 and onwards, you have to make the mesh and put the mesh into the sieve, right? Let's have a look. Mesh. Yeah, there are multiple different tiers of meshes that you can put in there, and so I think this might be the one where we can put multiple sieves down. I'm not quite sure. We'll figure it out. But for now, I'm going to do some tree chopping to get a bit more wood. Ooh, 3 tier 4, storage upgrades. That's crazy. That's actually really nice. That's going to give us our early game storage drawers a ton of space. I am very happy with that indeed. I'm also hoping that we have compressed crooks in this pack as well. We do indeed. Good stuff, good stuff. So we can use that to get a crook that lasts a little bit longer. We'd have to keep recrafting them quite so often. And also, I'm going to assume that apples are going to be pretty much our main source of food for quite a while here. Let me see. We do have Pam's Harvest Craft installed. And so I'm going to assume that we can make apple sauce, which gives you 1 chicken leg of hunger and then 2.5 of saturation. Let me check apple juice. Do we get any more from that? Apple juice gives you the exact same. I think that the apple sauce might be easy to craft. What do I need? I need a pot, which is some bricks. And so actually it's not easier. I think what's going to be easier for us here is to get a simple vanilla furnace. Throw that down right about there. Throw in some stone is what I meant to throw in there, and not wood. And then we can use that stone to make a really easy juicer, and then go ahead and throw that into our bellies and just have a nice bit of hunger filled up. You can eventually get the gluttony charm. I forgot what mod they're from. Yeah, I also forget what mod that's from, but I have gotten used to the gluttony charm. Is it Botania? No, it's Dark Utilities, which adds the Gluttony Charm. Okay. I know the Rune of Gluttony there is from Botania, but yeah, I will be getting this as soon as possible. I actually was surprised. When I went to go eat the apple a second ago, I just tapped right-click, thinking that just like in Fullcraft, it would just like eat it all instantaneously. Alas, I do not have myself a Gluttony Charm yet, and so I cannot do that, but I am very much so going to go ahead and do that. Isaac, this time make the freaking cheap golden apple when you make the charm. I will do. I know last time I made it, I used the expensive golden apple with the golden blocks, when in fact, you can make it using the cheaper golden apple as well. So I will be using the cheaper version this time around. Never fear. Never fear. All right, so I think that's probably enough wood. Let's take a quick peek back into the quest book here. We should now have more than enough to make our first sieve. Let me check here. I'm fairly certain the recipe is something like that. So we'll get some slabs. I'm going to make a few. Yeah, let's make 3. I want to test this, right? We might only be able to use 1, possibly, but I want to try using more than 1 to see if it's doable. People have told me it's not doable, and I believe them. But, you know, I've got to do some testing. You know, I've got to try it myself. To truly know that it's not gonna work. Also, 9 nature cores. I guess those are useful. Maybe? I have no idea what those are for whatsoever. They don't seem to have a recipe, which is interesting, and they don't seem to be used for anything apart from painting. So maybe they have like an ability. Maybe they make things grow faster or something. Mystical agriculture is in the pack. Yeah, like I said, there are so many ways that we can generate resources. Right? We've got the environmental tech for the Void Ore Miner, the Resource Miner, the Botanic Miner. We've got Ex Nihilo. We've got the chickens. We've got Mystical Agriculture for growing lapis and gold and diamonds and all that kind of stuff. We've just got so many mods installed that can all work towards getting us resources. And so we'll probably try and dive into all of them as we progress through here. But that's going to get us a juicer, which we can use to get ourselves a nice amount of apple juice here. Keep us nice and full. No agricraft. Also, are we getting? You get speed from apple juice. That's crazy. I like it. I like it a lot. We get it on the Fullcraft server, but I always thought it was because it was like the nutrition mod that gave us speed. But it looks like just apple juice in general gives you speed. That's crazy. I'm going to turn off view bobbing because I like not having view bobbing on. All right, so that's our sieve done. Next we need to make our first mesh. The silk mesh, I'm fairly certain, if memory serves me right, looks something like that. It does indeed. We might as well go ahead and make 3 of those. And then here is our moment of truth. Can we, in fact, sift multiple bits of, like, sand? Oh, my goodness. Kiss, you lied to me. I've been lied to. I have been lied. They've lied to me. You can, indeed, sift multiple items at a time. I freaking love it. Oh my goodness, that is going to make our life so much easier. Ban the liars. oh, it's so good. Okay, so now we've got that. We can go ahead and claim another loot chest there. Let's have a look. Another flask of the Fleet Feet, which I will just throw in here for now. And now, after that, this quest line here just takes us through all of the meshes, which we will walk towards. The Smeltery actually shouldn't be too hard for us to get. I'm going to assume that clay is made in the exact same way that it's normally made in Ex Nihilo, and that is in a barrel filled with water. We do have, I think, X-Compressum installed. That's what adds the compressed crook, and so we should be able to grab ourselves an oak crucible. Do we have more slabs? We do. Good stuff. Grab that. We should be able to grab an oak crucible, throw that down, and if we put saplings into that oak crucible, those should eventually turn into water, which we can then use to make our clay, which is pretty cool. We will go ahead and get 2 of these, I guess, and also make some form of bucket. Do we have a mod that adds a clay bucket in? We do indeed. I like it. Isaac didn't read the in-game chat. I didn't read the in-game chat. Did people tell me that you could, in fact, do this? That is being done right here. I think I'm also going to make another one of these small storage crates just for the drops from this, because we are going to end up with quite a few of them. And I don't want to kind of throw them. I don't want to throw everything into this small storage crate, at least not just yet. I want to be able to find what I want fairly quickly. At least that's the idea, maybe. So we'll grab some chests. I think, do we already have another wooden casing, or do you make those one at a time? I guess you make them one at a time. That's fine. Get some sticks. 4 will do. Kapow and Kaboom. Those things are so easy to make. I love it. Again, for now, we'll just throw this here. That does mean that I kind of want to make 22 more sieves so that we can go ahead and get even more of this. Like, and just sift so much at once. I feel like that would be fantastic. So yeah, I'm going to have to get some clay here. We actually only need one bucket, like one crucible worth of water to get our first bit of clay. And so all we really, I think, need to do, if the mod hasn't changed, which I don't think it will have done since last time I played it, is grab some cobblestone, make ourselves a cobblestone hammer so we can turn that sand there into some dust, and then throw that dust into the water when it's ready in the crucible here, and that should give us our first bit of clay, which we can then go ahead and use to get a clay bucket, which we can then use to get an unlimited source of water, and therefore get unlimited clay going forward, and progress on to start working on a little bit of Tinker's Construct, build ourselves a smeltery, and move on from there. We've also got a quest to build a mob farm. That's something we're going to have to do pretty early on. Unfortunately, the Woot mod, which I mentioned at the start of the stream, doesn't have... It's not cheap by any stretch. Like, I think you do need a factory core, or factory heart maybe, to get this thing set up, and it is a little pricey to get set up. It's not super expensive, but it's like stuff that we don't have yet. Like iron ore might take us a little while to actually get, given that we don't get iron ore from sifting. We get those iron chunks, and so we are going to have to wait until we get something like an induction smelter at the very least before we can start working on setting up Woot. And so we are going to have to set up some kind of normal mob farm for the time being, but that shouldn't be too difficult for us to do. There's our first bit of clay. I didn't even test it. I was going to test if I could craft. There's no recipe for clay. There's no recipe for any of these. Isn't the default key R? Let's have a look. Show recipe. R. Is it rebound to something else? Key R. What is it rebound to? Rotate grid. No. Extend inventory. No. Force. What about toggle freeze effects? Get out of here. Toggle emergency hover mode. Leave. Show recipe. Fire projectile. No. There we go. So now if I press R on something, there we go. Okay, I like it. I like it. It does not look, however, like I can craft clay blocks into clay, which is that's all I want. It's the one thing that I want in this world. That's the only thing I want. Please. Okay, so now we've got our first bits of clay anyway. We can go ahead and get a clay bucket and smelt that here. Also, let me just do a quick inventory dump here, so I can grab all this stuff that we're going to sift. Nice. Okay, didn't get... Actually, we got nothing, hardly anything from that, which is crazy. Let me check. What do you get when you sift sand? Are the odds that low? I guess 1%? Or 1 times 3%, 5%, 30%. So you're quite high to get iron. But I guess those odds go up the more that you head on up the chain here. So once you get to a diamond sieve, yeah, a 60% chance, 18, 15. Okay, so we kind of want to try and work up that sifting chain really as fast as possible if we can. Is this pretty much done? It's not. It's going to take a while. I guess whilst we're waiting, we could always go ahead and get ourselves a second wooden crucible. It's really not necessary, and it's just kind of laziness, but I kind of want it to be done twice as fast, you know? Okay, cool. I mean, at this point, I don't think it's worth us getting another crucible, because I think this one here is going to be almost done. It is indeed. As soon as that is done, we will go ahead and throw down... I guess I should use a normal hammer, right? We'll make an unlimited water source right here, just so we can get more water nice and easily. You can go there. We'll fill you up with saplings. And again, whilst we wait for that, let's take another quick peek here into the quest book. Lava generation through the crucible, which I think is bone meal... crucible, that's like that. Bone meal and clay, right? Porcelain clay? Yeah, clay and bone meal. Bone meal I think we can get from sifting dust, usually. Yeah. 10% chance. So again, we really want to try and move up through the different meshes as fast as we possibly can. Isaac, get some torches. That is a good idea. I should 100% get some torches. Let's throw a little bit of wood in here to get some charcoal. Cooking. I like it. Yeah, we'll get that going. All right, that's doing its thing, which is good. So yeah, the next one up is flint mesh, right? Let's have a look. Mesh. What do I need for the flint stiffened mesh? It's string and flint. Flint, we can actually get by crafting gravel, which is quite nice. We do have the choice. The game has been very kind to us here and has allowed us to either pay 3 gravel or, if you're feeling extra generous, 4 gravel to get 1 flint, which is actually very nice of them. And so, really, with that, all we need to do is just grab a ton of cobblestone. Now that we've got wood, we should be able to make that first tier of stone wand. And so, essentially... we are going to pick that up if we try to break it here. I really do need to kind of expand out this cave even more. We haven't built too much, but we're already starting to fill this thing up. like rapidly. It's crazy. But let's go ahead and break that down with our hammer. I love how I made the wand and then didn't use the wand. Don't worry about it, chat, okay? But what we should be doing in this scenario is doing something like this and then using that wand, which I don't think is going to be quite able to do all of this. No, but it does make it a little bit faster still. Like so, and then just hammering all that down at once. So actually getting this flint stiffened mesh is going to be super easy, given that we can just go ahead and craft our gravel directly into flint, like so, and then therefore go ahead and craft the flint with the string instantly into a flint stiffened mesh. Is there a way to upgrade a normal mesh? I don't think there is. Can I turn my normal mesh back into string? I also don't think that I can, unfortunately. I'm just thinking about the fact that we need string for every section. String's not that hard to get, but it is a little bit tedious waiting for the tree. But you know what? I'll do it anyway. I'll do it anyway. Here we go. This one's better. We probably should have just gone straight to it and not even made the first tier of mesh. Although it is also a quest, and so I guess nothing was really lost in the long run. We did have to do it to progress. So we'll throw you in there. And I also think we've got a quest or two to claim now. Let's have a peek. We do. Let's go ahead and grab that. Hopefully again something good. 12 epic bacon. Epic bacon is a very nice, very nutritious meal source. 11 saturation is insane. I love it. I love it. I love it. Give me some torches. Let's get some light into this cave. Just because we live in a cave doesn't mean we have to live in complete darkness. Here we go. Boom. Oh, look at that. It's a bit too bright, actually. It's lost the cave feel now. It no longer feels like a dingy cave that we live in. It's so bright. You know, it's too bright. I need to turn my brightness down. See, now it feels so weird. I never play with brightness down. Oh, so bright. Holy heck. Anyway, let me see here. What are we working on? We're waiting for the oak crucible, which is now done. So now we can go ahead and do this, and we have a lovely unlimited source of water, which I believe we can use in here to get ourselves limitless clay, which is very nice indeed. And that's going to help us to get to the Tinker's Construct Smeltery. But before I start working on that, I think that I might try and get this crucible. And for that, we just need to get ourselves a ton of dust, which means a lot of hammering. So I'm wondering, I'm thinking, first of all, we should probably kind of expand out this cave a little bit in one of these directions. Now, I think, yeah, there goes my hammer. I think I'm going to just go ahead and, like, vein mine from the middle here. I don't know how big of... I can't vein mine with this, excuse me. This is not a vein mineable tool. I beg your pardon. Can I make a vanilla pickaxe and vein mine with that then, instead? I just want to clear out, like, a large area. Excuse me, I cannot... The vein mining has been modified. It has been tweaked to slow down my progression, to keep me into this tiny little cave. I cannot... You can't vein mine stone. Oh, okay. Well, in that case... Oh my goodness, is there any other way I can... we've already looked at this recipe here. There's no, like, hammer that I can make. Which kind of sucks, because now it's going to be a little bit more tricky for us to get... We've already got a ton of cobblestone, in fairness, but it does mean it's going to be a little bit harder for us to get even more cobblestone going forward. But nevertheless, let's get a bunch of dust here and start sifting that. Hopefully we get enough bone meal from sifting all that dust to try and get ourselves our first little bits of porcelain clay, make ourselves a crucible, get into lava, and then maybe set up some kind of automated cobblestone generator so we don't have to worry about this going forward. Let's actually quickly look at the recipes for the cobblestone generators from Tiny Progressions. These ones simply require, a bucket of lava, bucket of water, stone, and glass, and then you can upgrade those with iron, blaze, emeralds, diamonds, and that's it. Cool. Okay, so we'll try and do that. We'll try and work our way up to that section. I need a stone hammer, and I guess actually what I should be compressing here is the stone hammer, right? Like, I should make some space in my inventory here real quick. Craft up a total of 9 stone hammers, like that, and then use those stone hammers to craft up a compressed stone hammer so that we can just break compressed gravel as opposed to breaking standard gravel. We are going to lose a bit of the gravel here to flint, but that's fine. So yeah, now that we got that, we can go ahead and craft up compressed gravel, like so, and then just put down 3 compressed gravel and break that with the compressed stone hammer. And again, we could vein mine that, actually, I believe at least, unless the config has been changed. And also, whilst I got it on my mind, I should also make a crafting table on a stick. so that I can craft those like compressed blocks without having to walk back to the crafting table every time. That's going to make my life, again, just a little bit easier. Just a nice quality of life improvement, if nothing else. And kapow. Nice. Okay, so now we can craft with that on the go, which is nice. So, for example, if we're over here and we want to go ahead and craft up our sand...